Alrighty, boys, I'm back. Actually, it's been I'd say about 30 minutes since I finished the last episode. Decided to record some episodes in bulk, so I have less work to do tomorrow and Saturday when I go to my normal job. So, I wanted to do a little more, but it looks like, that we got this depart button here. So I'm just thinking that something is going to be up. Let me crack my Mountain Dew open, but so I didn't want to click the button, which means I wanted to customize my mechs a little more, but as you can see, this is what we've got going on right here. So the cataphract is in. I have recustomized it a bit. I do like the cataphract, however, I feel it's a little bit, it overreaches, especially in the area of heat. It's just, decent weapon concept, but just it burns up too easily. So we've redesigned, we've kind of scaled it back a bit. You'll get to see the design later. In fact, I might pilot it next. We also have we can actually just point at the weapons right there. So this is not the standard archer. This archer actually has, you can actually see it right here. It's got a SRM pod. And so I have, oh no, it's actually under the prize. It shouldn't have SRM4s. I've redesigned, so because the customizations have not gone into effect, we can't even see it. So let's just hit the depart button. So Tikonov surrenders. Mission accomplished, Lancers. Tikonov is officially ours. Crucis Lancer Command has accepted the surrender of Tigress and the major population centers around the planet. While pockets of resistance still exist, they currently do not possess the numbers or coordination to be considered a major threat. The 8th Crucis Lancers will be... Wait, didn't we just read all this? They'll be there to administer the blah blah, the resistance fighters. Everyone else gets some R&R. I think this is very similar. Once we ship out, we will brief the battalion on our next objective. Now get some rest. Be sure to collect. Yeah, okay. So let's set a course. So
Wave 3 of Operation Rat has begun. From here, the Crucis Lancers will divide and conquer a number of systems, securing our grip of the Tikonov commonality. The 2nd and 3rd Crucis Lancers' next assignment is to take the world of Tigress. Boasting one of the highest standards of living and well-educated populaces in all of the Capellan Confederation, Tigress has acted as a cultural center and brain trust of the Capellan state for centuries. Bringing Tigress to heel will consolidate the Federated Sun's might throughout the Terran corridor, and further secure our hold of vital jump ship routes into the Lyran Commonwealth. Its conquest will also rob House Liao of a major population center containing some of the Capellan state's brightest minds and wealthiest families, hampering the Confederation for generations. Given the system's wealth and nobility, House Liao has stationed significant defenses on Tigress. With only 2nd and 3rd battalions assigned to this invasion, we should expect to encounter stiff resistance to our occupation, as we will not be able to rely on the same amount of support that we received on Tikonov. But always remember, the Lancers have already done what not even the Star League could do. We took the unconquerable world of Tikonov. Compared to that, there is nothing that Tigress can throw at us that we haven't already faced before.
yeah, about that unshakable fortress. Just saying, well, it wasn't all that unshakable. I'm just saying. Okay, so here we are. Let's take a look at the timeline. Okay, so I guess the 64 days have already passed. We are right here at the next mission. So no missions in between. View transmissions. These are all just optional things. So I guess we go right... Oh, wait, no, we can look at our battle mechs. So all of our battle mechs are ready. We do have one injured pilot, but that's not that big of a deal. So let's take a look at our cataphract. So our cataphract is a kind of a spin on the typical cataphract, which would normally have a PPC here. But we have the same AC-10, but we went from a PPC to a large chem laser. And that's because the chem laser is very cold for a large laser. Like, let me go drag out a normal. So a normal large laser generates 7.5 heat. This one generates 2.3, which is massively lower. On the other hand, it does need some ammo, but it's got a healthy 2 tons of chem laser ammo. We've got a healthy 2 tons of AC-10 ammo. And then the medium lasers, because normally it has 4 medium lasers, which, it makes sense since the cataphract kind of wants to, it doesn't want to get into a brawl. It is more of like a mid-range battle mech, but we have redesigned it so that it's actually more intended for close-range combat, which is fine because it has a healthy 416 armor, and it also has plenty of heat sinks, and these small lasers will not generate the same kind of heat that the medium lasers do. If I wanted to keep the medium lasers, I probably would finagle the weaponry a little bit more. So here is our Archer. The Archer we have, so it came with LRM-15s. That is a downgrade from the typical LRM-20s. That said, a pair of LRM-20s is a little rough for a 70-ton mech. I mean, we could do it, but like you need a lot of ammo to support 2 LRM-20s and also a decent amount of heat sinks, because LRM-20s, they do get hot once you start like cranking that max fire rate. So these are the normal LRM-15s that were on it. We downgraded the SRM-4s to SRM-2s, and then I also dropped the 4 medium lasers into 4 small lasers. And as you can see here, we still have a very healthy quantity, 4 tons of LRM ammo, 1 ton of SRM ammo, that's fine, because this is basically an SRM-4, and 1 ton is good for an SRM-4. And then we've got 5 heat sinks, which is, once again, like we got the small lasers there for close range defense, and also the fact that 2 LRM-15s will also get hot. So I think this is a much more sustainable build. It also is designed for like fighting up front, like not literally at the front rank, but it's not going to go down that easily with a healthy 416 armor. And I think, the Charger is ready for combat, and I think that's all we've done. Let me check the mech market real quick. Okay, they got a Battle Master, a Black Knight, a Cyclops, interesting. Ooh, a Marauder. We got Orion. This new world we're on has some pretty good stuff. We'll definitely be able to pick up some upgrades here. But on to the mission, because we won't be able to do any of that in time. So, Tigress. Marshall Jackson Davian says, Kestrel Lancers, we're about to make planetfall on the Tigress. Aerospace sweeps of our targeted LZs show no opposing forces waiting for us. From what the reconnaissance has shown, mechs and vehicle forces are currently stationed just outside the largest population centers. It appears that the Capellan defenders will allow us to land on Tigress uncontested. That's kind of interesting. Like, normally you would think you'd want to intercept people on approach, because, like, normally the landing is the most disorganized people are. Like, you want them to be like eating artillery the moment they land. We believe they are holding these defensive positions, anticipating a blitzkrieg similar to our attack on Tikonov, but that will not be our strategy this time. Unlike Tikonov, that had major populations scattered across the planet, Tigress' primary center of power rests in a concentrated cluster of multiple cities and townships called Sigi Chengshi. Yeah, the 4 cities. To control Tigress, we only need to neutralize the 4 cities to bring it under control, so will there be 4 missions? To do this, the Kestrel Lancers will be dropping 40 clicks north of the city behind a small but dense forest named Eulor's Grove. Our sister unit, the 3rd Crucis Lancers, will be landing east of the 4 cities at the base of the Granite Field Mountains. Both battalions will regroup at our planned forward operating base and then move to initiate a coordinated pincer strike against the 4 cities. Before we can move against the 4 cities, both regiments of the Crucis Lancers must secure forward operating bases to prepare for our eventual pincer attack. Our FOB will be located in Eulor's Grove. Once planetside, you are to advance along the nav point route until you reach our planned location for the FOB. Clear out potential hostiles that may be occupying the location. Provided the Capellan defenders maintain their defensive positions, we should be able to secure the FOB with only marginal enemy resistance. So, maybe there's going to be some defensive missions. Maybe we'll actually have to defend the base. And I'm getting the sense that we won't need to capture all 4 cities. Some of the other Crucis Lancers will probably do that. So, our drop weight is 265, so it is continuing to go up. Once again, 18 is not that great, so let's put it all into money, and then we'll put the rest into salvage. 15, I guess it's because we're getting a higher level of friendship with Davion. So Marshall Jackson says, our objective is to secure a site for our... Oh, they might have spelled that. It might be S-I-T-E. Site as in vision. Well, let me see. let me just use the word vision. Our objective is to secure vision for our forward operating base. Looks like either could technically work. Like, like just changes kind of the meaning a little bit. While the planet's defenders are hanging back, defending Tigress's primary population centers. Advance along the nav point route to our planned FOB site and clear out any enemies that might be scouting our forces. Eulor's Grove is very dense, so if you do engage enemy forces, expect fairly close quarters combat. Okay, so that's perfect. We happen to be ready exactly for that. Let me go ahead and give people the swap-a-roni. Okay, good news. Looks like we finally are over the drop weight, so let's go ahead and downgrade you into a Hunchback. So this is a full close combat team, double SRM6s, AC-20. We do have the PPCs, which are flexible, and then I've got the AC-20. Oh yeah, so our Charger has 2 Flamers, an AC-20, and an LRM-10. LRM-10 useful for swatting down helicopters and also just picking off things like, just vehicles, turrets, helicopters. Oh, somebody's injured. Got to swap you out. Our next highest person is 41. So in you go. So we're a little below, but that's really not that big of a deal. I don't think we have any 60. In fact, I don't even know what options at the Silgi. You could use Jägermech or Rifleman. This will be fine though.
The fulcrum of power on Tigress is a heavy concentration of the system's populace, clustered around a number of townships and cities known locally as Suga Changxi, the 4 cities. We've made planetfall 40 clicks north of our main objective, shielded by a small but dense forest known as Eulor's Grove, while the third has made planetfall in the Granite Field Mountains to the east of our objective. We are each set to advance on the city from both directions and attempt a pincer attack to claim the 4 cities. Tread carefully. While Tigress is not the fortress world that Tikonov was, we will not have the luxury of having the full might of all 8 Lancer regiments on our side. For this campaign, it's just us and the third, so watch each other's backs and don't do anything reckless.
Okay, now that the dialogue is done, let's go ahead and reassign our weapon groups. We want our autocannon there. I want my LRM here. I want my flamers here, and my punchinators right there. That looks pretty good. Okay, and let's take a look at the battlefield. Go ahead and throttle up to max. Very Tigrograd looking. Tigrograd Battle 3 looking. So it's definitely going to be not a lot of room to maneuver in, so it's going to be my job to kind of get in there. Well, we're all...
Do we have any intel on our Op-4?
Mio intelligence reports Warrior House Hiritsu and Kerr intruders have been stationed on Tigress for years with direct support from Laurel's Legion, a mercenary battalion with direct ties to the ruling family of Tigress. Beyond that, we have no intel on if those units are stationed here at full strength or only have a handful of battalions stationed here on garrison duty. So our best estimates range from 1 to 3 regiments worth of hostiles in system.
That's quite a range, sir.
All the more reason to tread carefully, MechWarrior. Continue to follow the marked nav point route to our planned encampment site. Once we've set up a foothold within the system, we'll send out recon squads to see what is what.
Is this Atlas, does this Atlas have a stronger engine, or am I just not matching speeds with it properly? I was trying to, that's weird. I thought the Atlas traveled at about 44 kilometers per hour, but it seems to be outpacing us. We want to go together for sure, because I'm
getting some heavy sensor disruption. Could be the Liao scouting our formations.
Oh, look at that. They brought a cataphract. That's funny. And they also have a Blackjack and a Hunchback. Ooh, pretty decent team. Actually kind of similar to ours. 2 medium, a heavy, and an assault.
Contact. I have multiple heavy contacts lighting up across the board. IFF identifies them as Kerr's intruders, Liao's premier assault regiment. All Lancers, weapons free.
Oh! Here we go. You're not gonna enjoy this AC-20 once I get it on you, little raven. Oh! It's like jungle warfare?
Looks like those ravens weren't scouting our forces, but treating the intruders' numbers.
Here we go.
Am I reading Davian serial codes on these hostiles?
There we go.
The Confederation lost much of their domestic assault mech production back in the Second Succession War. Kerr Emperor's intruders makes up for that by fielding large amounts of Davian salvage. Just focus on their IFF signatures.
Easier said than done with all of this sensor jamming.
All this complaining, just get in there and start shooting. Just pick a target and shoot. Forget the sensor. Oh, look, he overheated. Ah, what a weenie. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Get to shower him with these nasty AC-20. I don't know if there's any weapons in my arms, to be completely honest. My arms might have no purpose other than for melee combat. Which means, like, they're almost just like shields. Alright, so yeah, I'm betting that the theme of this is going to be kind of like guerrilla warfare and ambushes and, like, kind of trying to nickel and dime you down. It's going to be kind of like, I guess, like the Battle Mech Vietnam experience is kind of what the vibe I'm getting. So far, not too bad. Damage is somewhere between light and moderate, I'd estimate. But, you know, like, it just depends on what else we deal with. They said it was like an assault regiment. I don't know if that means, like, as in their strategy is to assault things, or if that means that they're like, yeah, we're full of assault mechs. Hey there, sister regiment, did you ever think about, like, regrouping over here? You want to come over here? I think that's, hey, what are you doing? You're like the Hunchback J. What are you doing bringing missiles? What is this, what variant of this Atlas has? Wow, it's a Lost Tech refit with, like, what, like 6 medium pulse lasers, an AC-10, and a LRM-10? That's kind of curious. And what do we got over here? A normal blackjack? And oh, I see they're not going to wait for the Atlas. Great strategy.
We can't shoot straight with all this interference. Someone take those Ravens out.
Contact. Enemy mech in sight.
We got an assault mech, boys. It is not the crummy Charger. We got a sec. Well, okay, it looks like they might actually be.
Charger just shoot through my torso with a large bore autocannon.
That must be one of those new variants whipped up by Hellspawn Industries. Focus on taking them down quickly. Those are carrying more than just pop-cap lasers and can be quite lethal up close. Approach them with caution.
I'm just giving them the bombardment experience right now. I mean, we can do it. Like, unfortunately, I'm firing a little bit out of the range of my main weapon, so I am getting reduced damage. Oh, you are not going to enjoy this, you little crummy light mech. You're not ready for this AC-20 damage. Ooh, there we go. You will be squished. Now, these Ravens would be so much more deadly if they actually were equipped with their, like, support gear. I'm mainly talking about stuff like if they had, like, NARC, missile beacon.
On the commander's target.
Okay, that Charger is really banged up. Come on. Oh, I can lock on with the missiles. I keep forgetting that. I'm going to try to get through his arm. Okay, big damage on the arm. Let me just get in there. Well, we got all the flamethrowers on him. We're burning him up. Get him with the flamethrowers.
The intruders might have gotten the jump on us, but we are not out of this fight. Keep on them, Lancers.
Okay, damage report, please. I'm doing okay. I'm actually, that was very clean for me. Hunchback is okay. Hunchback is okay. Warhammer is okay. Like, moderate damage. Like, Warhammer and I are pretty similar. Looking pretty good, though, and we are, like, 60% through the map. It looks like no plans on regrouping and fighting together. We got the missile support leading the charge. Very, very smart idea. The missiles are completely worthless with all of the ECM and combined with the close range. Really just not a great idea. Oh, even better. Look how far behind the Atlas is. Like, this is just like maximum strategy right here. Like, the enemy side has this, like, ambush ECM strategy going on, and we've got this, like, everybody race to the finish in the most disorganized manner and leave the most powerful battle mech in the Lance behind. It's like, just, mwah! It's just brilliant. It's amazing. Okay, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Now, one thing I like about the Flamers is They're very accurate. They're actually pretty nice for like these annoying little battle mechs. Oh, let's get this guy out of here too. And I'm gonna, no, we need to not, oh God, I think I just lit up one of my allies a bit there. Oh, there we go. AC-20 is gonna chew through you. Even better that I've got the burst fire, because the burst fire is a little better against, or not a little, a good bit better against small mechs, because with the single fire, it's all or nothing. But with the burst fire, it doesn't have to be that way. Absolutely just crushing through these guys. Like, don't underestimate, like, you might be like, well, you know, it sure seems like the Charger doesn't have the kind of equipment, you know, like 80 tons and he's not packing that much.
We're turning this around. One final push should be all we need.
But yeah, like, don't underestimate that AC-20 with the double flamers. Like, it's more deadly than you would expect. What are all these green things? Look, there's green things everywhere. What happens if I step on them? Nothing? Oh, they're like super strong. They're like, no, that's not helping. They are like aliens gonna hatch out of them at any moment? Are they like xenomorphs? What are these doofuses doing? Like, I'm making dumb dialogue as I'm waiting for these guys to I guess they heard me complaining. Let's get a damage report. Well, the good news is that the Hunchback carries its most important weapons in the torso. Our Hunchback is fine. Their Blackjack in pretty good shape. The Atlas in amazing shape. I wonder why. Could it be because they leave the Atlas behind? Our Warhammer has a torso armor breach. That could become a problem since the PPC is half of its weapons are in the torso and arm. So I'm gonna try to have to like find a way to get in there. Our Hunchback could lose an arm, but that's a medium laser at the most. So it looks like we're doing okay. I'm gonna try to get in there just to. Hopefully we can save some equipment on the Warhammer. Unfortunately, the Warhammer keeps taking damage in the same location there. Also, we can also let our sister Lancers, incredible, like they should be called like the Berserker Lancers, because they just like storm into battle like regardless of how good of an idea it is. Raven over there, follow me, boys. Okay. Here it comes, the big shot. No, I'm gonna squish you. Oh, I thought I could punch him. Didn't work though. Why don't you die? Finally taking a bit of damage, but fortunately my main weapons are not located in my arms. Oh, we got a little bit of everything here. Yeah, let's get our guys to like focus on one target at a time. We need to reduce their numbers in order to like the battlefield's getting a little complicated at the moment. Ammo is low, but that's fine. Like, we haven't really used it on any vehicles. We've been using it on pretty much nothing but worthy targets. Let's get in here. Let's start burning him up. Like, his heat problems are going to quickly become apparent. Looks like I did lose a weapon. It's the LRM. That's the least important weapon. This guy is down.
New target, Locust.
Target
acquired.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Focus fire. See, like, that spray, like, I probably would have missed there, but at least with the spray of the guns, it's like I get some hits. And on a small mech like that, all hits are bad hits. Oh, those are all, that does so much center torso damage there.
Finish off whatever stragglers you can find, but let the rest of them go. The third is counting on us to be in position for our joint assault. We need to save our manpower for the fight ahead. Continue along to the marked nav points. We still need to reach and secure our forward operating base.
There's the end of the map!
Great work, Commander. We took a beating, but crippling Kerr's intruders takes a key Liao assault battalion off the board. You've provided a great service to House Davian this day. This should make our engagements with the elite Warrior House troops easier.
Okay, so I took a look at our mechs there, and it looks like I got what I mainly wanted. I didn't want to lose that PPC, so like that was perfectly fine. And like I said, the Charger doesn't really carry a lot of its weapons in its arms, so like that's not too bad. Same kind of situation, like if we had gone full into salvage, the most we would have gotten is this Blackjack, which is really not a lot to talk about. Don't think I want any of this, so I'm just going to take a mech. We'll just take the Phoenix Hawk. So Davion says, that was rough, but we did some serious damage to the intruders. Yeah, I mean, we plowed through like 3 or 4 lances, and one of them has 2 assault mechs. But the LRM-10, it still did play a role. Like, we were able to go into kind of a bombardment role for a brief amount of time when it was like the charger-to-charger combat. And the House layout says, how could you let these Fed rat whelps get the better of you? Well, I mean, we kind of had... we had all of our mechs in one spot, and they kind of divided them up. But, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe if they had all of their mechs all at once, it just would have been, like, massive friendly fire or something. Very nice, similar, like another similar 1,500 damage. The Charger doing exactly what I need it to do, which is to just get in there, absorb a ton of damage, draw gunfire off of my allies, and then, like I said, I didn't plan it this way, but it absolutely brutalizes the small mechs. And you might say, well, they're a small mech, but compared to other mechs who might have trouble hitting these fast-moving mechs, like that AC-20 burst fire specifically, combined with the flamers, allows you to just kind of like mow them down. Because if I had originally thought about putting the full, like just the single slug AC-20, and I think that would have worked against us there, because like when you miss, it just is really painful. But even if only half of the burst hits, that's still a lot of damage to a light mech. So very satisfied with it. And like I don't even mind the LRM-10 is pretty easy to replace. Let's get a damage report. Okay, so over here, we lost the LRM-10, but that's not too bad. Like I said, our damage coverage, the main thing that sucks is we do have to wait 26 days for the repairs, so it probably won't be ready for 2 battles. Maybe it'll be ready in the second battle, so let's go ahead and get that going. I mean, if that was considered one of the tougher battles for this kind of a tough entry battle, then like that's perfectly fine for the Charger. This mech over here, the armor breach did not cause any. See, like as you can see, if the torso went, you would have lost small laser flamer and a PPC. That would not have been that would have been pretty bad. 10 days of repairs should be ready. Over here, this mech is looking just fine. Was armor breach, but no, the medium laser would have been the worst thing to go. So 6 days of repairs, and over here, I don't think this one had any armor breaches. Yeah, nothing. So just a simple 4 days of repairs. And like I said, we did save the PPC on the Warhammer, and PPCs are a lot more expensive. So overall, and also we don't have as many PPCs sitting in reserve, so that's perfectly fine. We're looking at like, let me see when the next battle is. 30 days. Wow, so it's all going to be ready before then, so even better. Anyways, there you go. You got to see some of, I'm not going to talk about the history. So, those of you who watch Season 2 know I talk about the history of the battle mechs. I'm not going to talk about them just because, I want to talk about them in Season 2, which we will resume when we're done with the Kestrel Lancers. And it's like, if I talk about them here, we're going to, it's going to be less content there. And, Season 2 is all about, learning about, the lore of Battletech and whatnot. So, overall, did really well. Pretty happy with the performance of the Charger. And, one thing is, don't underestimate mechs that don't appear to have that many weapons. The Charger with only 4 weapons on an 80-ton mech, the Warhammer 6 weapons, which is less than it would typically have. Especially when you compare it to, a mech that's, bristling with weapons, I don't know if we have one that's really just got, a ton of weapons, but some mechs just have a huge list of weapons, but they just can't do anything with it. Once the Charger got its hands on that cataphract, those flamers just rapidly shut down its ability to fight back. And that's really the key issue there, is that all of those precious weapons you have, once your mech is burning up due to the cheap flamer tactics, it just doesn't matter. And then the flamers, the damage adds up over time, and then with that nasty AC-20, which as we can see, it looks like it didn't get banged up or anything. just really worked out for us. Anyways, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Like the video, feels entertaining, subscribe for future MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, Legend of the Kestrel Lancers content. Of course, remember that you have to be good to get good.